A few months ago, I beat Dark Souls 1 using only sorceries and then pyromancies, and today I want to see if I can beat it using only miracles. The rules are pretty simple. I can't use any other weapons except for the first boss fight, and I can use any miracle I can obtain throughout Covenants or just finding it throughout my playthrough. So let's not waste any more time and get right into the challenge. Immediately after the first boss, I start leveling up one of the only stats I'll be doing the whole playthrough, which is Faith. Now, I also start doing Dex later down the playthrough, but don't worry, it's only because it gives you a faster cast time for some miracles. After leveling up, I go down below to grab some souls and one key item that will be very pivotal to the playthrough. I then make my way to the first Covenant where I will get my best miracle throughout almost the entire playthrough, but I have to reach a certain level for Faith to actually obtain the miracle. So it's time to farm souls. After spamming the dragon for about an hour, I was able to obtain level 25 in the Covenant and was able to get my first lightning spear. You know, the good thing with Taurus Demons, he never really is an issue with these kind of challenges. It's no different for the Faith, who is very easy. In all seriousness, after taking out the archers, Taurus Demon was very easy. As you can see, I'm doing a lot of damage with Lightning Spear early on. The Gargoyles are another boss that were really easy to steamroll, making me think that I would not need another miracle for quite some time. After a few practice kicks, I make sure to kick C-3PO off so we can get the Fat Brain. After that, I then go get Force, which is not really good for damage, but it's really helpful to get people away from you. I decide to continue going after bosses that I know I can easily steamroll because I need to keep pumping levels into Faith. Capra Demon was a hard boss, not because I kept dying over and over, but it was really hard to get an attack off because there was 2 dogs in the arena, plus Capra Demon himself. It was a really stressful fight. It took me 3 attempts. Gaping Dragon is the first real fight that made me start feeling weak. And I was not going to beat the fight unless I hit the head only, so I had to make sure I timed the attacks perfectly for when he would slam. After Gaping Dragon, I went straight to Quelaag and beat her with not a single lightning spear to spare. So now with both bells rung, I went back to the asylum just to see if I could beat the stray demon. Short story, I could not. So I knew it was time to start getting stronger, so I first started off by taking out the Hydra. I then went to take out the Golden Golem, not to buy anything from the NPC that it spawns in, but if you go and summon it and come back, it drops an item that gives a 20% boost to miracles. I tried to use a new miracle I obtained on Iron Giant and it did not go that good. Before going to Anor Londo, I still wanted to level up my faith a bit more, so I went to take out Pinwheel. We also got a new NPC where I could get a new miracle called Wrath of the Gods, which is probably our best miracle now. I then made sure to go back and beat Stray Demon. After that, I went towards Anor Londo and went into the Painted World to fight Patricia, who wasn't really that hard and was pretty easy with Wrath of God. Now, if I really want to maximize my damage, I would have to farm a Covenant item for Gwendolyn, which I ultimately ended up doing. Ornstein and Smough were pretty hard at first. It was mostly challenging due to the incredibly long charge-up times for the miracles, but after a few attempts I was able to get Ornstein down and Smough was just easy to clean up. I then go to grab the Lord Vessel and I opt to not kill Gwendolyn this playthrough. And since I've been helping Onion throughout the entire playthrough, he gives me Emit Force. And to be honest, this miracle is not all that, but it's something that I will need down the line for damage. Demon Fire Sage caused me a bit of issue. It kind of always does with every playthrough, but after a few attempts he was easy to take down. Nito honestly might have been the hardest boss throughout the entire playthrough, solely because of the skeletons he spawns in. Even if you don't spawn in the ones later in the fight, it's hard with the 3 at the beginning that I just could not take out. But Nito himself was not that hard. It was just really hard to do with the skeletons. Seath is another one of those bosses that took almost, well no, it did take every single lightning spear, but he's not really mobile and his attacks are kind of far away from me, so it was a very easy fight. Up next was Bed of Chaos, who has never made me happy in my life. And before I could go take on the 4 kings, I needed to beat Sif. 4 Kings were pretty hard for 2 reasons mainly. I couldn't tell how far away I was from the boss, so I would throw lightning spears and sometimes just miss. And my damage was not amazing for the fight. I needed to make sure I used every lightning spear perfectly. So Gwen was actually causing me hell for a while, and then I remembered that I had the red Tearstone ring, so I had to go into the boss fight one shot, which at first was pretty bad because I didn't want to use the shield, but I ended up having to. And he was immune to lightning, so I could only use Wrath of the Gods to hope I could get the job done. And ultimately, I did. Now, out of all the challenges I've done between Intelligence, Pyromancy, and Faith, I want to say Faith is probably the easiest, mainly because of the Lightning Spear. It melts a lot of bosses, and Wrath of the God is just really OP. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, and see you next time.